Dear soul, may the light and peace of the angels surround your heart at this moment. I come to you today as a messenger, bringing words that the celestial beings have entrusted me to share, words that touch on deep feelings, connections that mark the soul, and fears that at times paralyze us. There is someone in your life, a person who occupies a significant space in your thoughts and in your energy, who holds for you a feeling of rare intensity, a perception that perhaps she herself does not fully understand in its magnitude. You, angels show this person looking at you, at your essence, at the mark you left on her life and seeing something she has never found anywhere else. They see her as your true first love. Yes, dear soul, even if time has passed, even if other experiences have occurred, the way this person perceives the connection they shared, or that they still share in spirit, has the purity, strength, and uniqueness of a genuine first love. It's as if you were the person who defined for her what real love truly means, the one who set a standard of affection, understanding, and acceptance that became the reference for everything that came after. You may have been the first person to truly see her soul, to accept her with her lights and shadows, to awaken in her feelings she didn't know she was capable of feeling. This perception is not superficial, it is deeply ingrained in her being. She may not use these exact words, perhaps she doesn't even have full consciousness of this classification, but the feeling you evoke in her is that of a primordial, fundamental love that shaped her understanding of affection and connection. She associates you with a time of emotional discoveries, intensity, perhaps even a certain innocence, regardless of the age they were. You represent to her an emotional safe haven, a place where she could be authentic, perhaps for the first time. The angels indicate that your energy has a unique power over this person, an ability to calm her anxieties, and at the same time to awaken her deepest feelings. However, and this is the crux of today's message, this special perception comes with a shadow, a barrier that prevents her from approaching or fully expressing what she feels. There is a deep fear that consumes her. What I am about to reveal to you next may change the way you understand the distance or silence of this person. The angels ask that you open your heart to understand not only the love that exists, but also the hesitation that accompanies it. This fear does not diminish the feeling, but complicates it, creating a dynamic that can be confusing and at times cause discomfort. It is crucial to understand that her vision of you as this fundamental love is precisely what feeds part of this fear. She does not fear any love. She fears this love, what it represents and what it could mean if it were lived fully now. The intensity of what you represent to her is overwhelming. Think about it. Being seen as the true first love carries a weight, an idealization, an almost mythical expectation, and it is precisely this magnitude that scares her. She may feel pressured to correspond to this idealized image, or fear that the current reality cannot match the beauty of the memory or the original feeling. Before continuing the message, write this mantra in the comments. My heart is open to give and receive genuine love. Now continuing the message, the angels want you to know that the way she sees you is not a burden for you to carry, but rather a testimony of the positive and luminous impact you had on her life. The question now is to understand why something so beautiful generates so much fear. This fear did not come out of nowhere. He has roots, stories, perhaps past experiences that have marked and made her cautious, especially when it comes to feelings as intense and significant as those she nurtures for you. The depth of this connection scares her because it makes her vulnerable, exposed. She may fear that by allowing herself to feel this again, or by trying to bring this connection into the present, she might somehow tarnish the purity of this memory or feeling. It's a complex fear, woven with threads of insecurity, past experiences, and a deep reverence for what you represent. Prepare your heart, for we're going to delve deeper into the nature of this fear and how it's affecting this person and the dynamic between you. This person's perception of you as their first true love is not just a nostalgic memory, dear soul. It's a living force within them, an energy that influences their current thoughts and feelings in a powerful way. The angels show that this vision is linked to your authenticity, to the way you made her feel seen, understood, and accepted in a way that perhaps no one else has. You may have been the one who encouraged her to be more herself, who celebrated her unique qualities, who offered a mirror where she could see the best in herself. That kind of impact leaves an indelible mark. That's why even with the passage of time or the presence of other people, your image remains with this special, almost sacred aura in her mind and heart. She associates you with a feeling of home, emotionally a state of belonging and security that's rare to find. The intensity of this connection, however, is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's the source of immense affection and deep admiration. On the other, it's the origin of the fear that paralyzes her. The angels indicate that this fear is deeply linked to a feeling of inadequacy. She may look at you today, perhaps perceiving your strength, your evolution, the way you've moved on with your life, and feel that she's not up to par. She may ask herself, how could I fit into her life now? Am I still good enough for someone who represents so much to me? This feeling of not being enough is one of the strongest components of her fear. She fears that by getting closer, you'll notice her flaws, her imperfections, the marks life has left, and that this might break the idealized image she believes you have of her, or that she has of herself when she was with you. It's a fear of disappointing not just you, but also the precious memory she holds of this connection. Moreover, the angels point to a fear of repetition. If there were difficulties, misunderstandings, or separations in the past, related to you, or to other experiences of hers, she may have an overwhelming fear that history will repeat itself. She may think, what if I mess everything up again? What if the intensity of this feeling leads us to the same type of challenge we faced before? This fear of causing or feeling discomfort again is a powerful brake. She often prefers, sometimes, unconsciously, to keep the connection on a safe pedestal in memory rather than risk bringing it into reality and potentially seeing it crumble. Now, before we continue this message, write 1888 in the comments to claim the abundance of love and alignment that the angels wish for your life. This energy helps to open paths. The angels also inspire me to say that if this message is touching your heart and bringing clarity, and you feel called to support this work of light, a gesture of kindness through the Valot Demain button is deeply appreciated. It helps us to continue spreading these guidances to more souls who need them. Continuing the message. This person also fears her own vulnerability. To love with the intensity that she feels for you, especially seeing it as that fundamental love, means letting go of control, exposing her heart in a way that leaves her vulnerable. If she's been hurt before by showing vulnerability, it's natural that she hesitates to do it again, especially with someone who means so much. She may have built walls around her heart as a form of protection, and the idea of tearing them down for you, even if the desire is there, is frightening. Her fear, therefore, is multifaceted. Fear of not being enough, fear of repeating mistakes, fear of hurting herself or hurting you, fear of the intensity and vulnerability that it requires. Understanding this doesn't justify the distance or silence, but it helps to humanize the situation and to see beyond the surface. There's something very important that you need to know about how this fear manifests itself and how the angels are working on it. The fear that this person feels, anchored in the perception of you as her first true love, is not just a fleeting thought, dear soul. It manifests concretely in her behavior, often in ways that may seem contradictory or confusing to you. The angels show that this deep hesitation can translate into mixed signals. Moments of apparent closeness followed by sudden withdrawals, warm words interspersed with inexplicable silences, an intense energy presence from a distance, but a difficulty in maintaining consistency in direct contact. All of this is a reflection of the internal battle she's fighting. On the one hand, her heart yearns for the connection, for the familiarity and comfort that your energy represents, the memory of what you shared, or the idealization of that primordial. Love pulls her towards you like a powerful magnet. She feels your absence, thinks of you frequently, and in moments of loneliness or reflection, the desire to re-establish or deepen the bond becomes almost palpable. At these times, She may even rehearse an approach, send a subtle signal, or simply allow herself to feel the intensity of that connection. However, soon afterwards, fear enters the scene. The voice of insecurity begins to question, what if she doesn't feel the same? What if I'm not capable of sustaining this? What if I end up exposing myself too much? The fear of rejection, of inadequacy, or of repeating painful patterns makes her retreat. She may convince herself that it's better to keep a safe distance, that it's wiser to protect herself, and perhaps you, from potential disappointment. This cycle of approach and withdrawal is tiring for her as well. The angels show that she lives in a state of internal tension, divided between the deep desire to connect with the love that you represent and the overwhelming fear of the consequences of that connection. She may try to distract herself, focus on other areas of life, but your energy presence continues to be there, like a constant background music in her soul. It's important to understand that her silence, or apparent indifference, rarely means lack of feeling. On the contrary, it often indicates the strength of the feeling and the fear that it generates. The deeper the love, the more intense the associated fear can be, especially if there are insecurities or past traumas involved. Before continuing the message, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, take the opportunity to subscribe. This helps us to continue creating meaningful content for you. Continuing the message. The angels want you to realize that this person may be watching you from afar, trying to decipher your feelings, looking for signs that there's still an opening, a possibility. Any sign that you've moved on, that you're strong and independent, which is wonderful, can paradoxically feed her fear of no longer being needed or of no longer having a place in your life. She may interpret your strength as a sign that she wouldn't make a difference, or worse, that her presence could complicate something that's already good for you. This dynamic is complex and delicate. The way she sees it, as this primordial and significant love, puts you on a pedestal in her mind, and she fears she won't be able to reach that height. She may feel intimidated by her own idealized image that she's created of you, or of the connection. Fear then acts as a protective shield, keeping her in an uncomfortable safety zone where longing exists, but the risk of vulnerability is avoided. But that's not all. There's something even deeper happening in the celestial background, an energetic movement aiming to dissolve that fear. The angels are working tirelessly to bring clarity and courage to this person's heart. The angels are sending you a special sign. Your lucky number for today is 7. Write in the comments, I receive the energy of the angels. My lucky number is 7 and I am blessed. I send love and protection to the person I like and love so much. If this message touched your heart, show your support with a thanks a lot and help spread this message of light to other people who need it. Believe, dear soul, this situation is not stagnant, even if it seems so. The energy is moving. Now, let's delve deeper into the nature of this fear that so influences this person, dear soul. The angels clarify that one of her deepest fears is the fear of her own intensity. The perception of you as her first true love is not something light. It carries immense emotional weight. She may feel that by allowing herself to connect with you again at that level, it would be like opening emotional floodgates that she's struggled to keep under control. She may fear being swept away by feelings she doesn't know how to manage, losing the balance she may have fought so hard to achieve in other areas of her life. This intensity scares her because it makes her feel alive in an almost disconcerting way, and at the same time vulnerable to a level that few people can access. She may question her own ability to handle the depth of what she feels for you, fearing that it will consume or destabilize her. Another crucial aspect of this fear, as the angels show, is the fear of not living up to your expectations, or the expectations she projects onto you. By seeing you as this fundamental love, she may idealize not only you, but also the type of person she believes you deserve to have by your side. And in her often critical self-assessment, she may feel that she doesn't fit into that ideal. She may focus on her own flaws, past mistakes, or the challenges she currently faces, and conclude that she's not good enough for you. This feeling of inadequacy is painful and paralyzing. She may think, She deserves someone better, someone more resolved, someone who doesn't bring the same problems from before. This negative internal dialogue prevents her from seeing the value she truly has and the beauty of the connection they could rebuild. There's also a significant fear of rejection, but not just any rejection. It's the fear of rejection coming from you, the person who occupies that special place in her heart. Being rejected by someone she sees as a fleeting love is one thing. Being rejected by the one she perceives as her first true love would, for her, be a much deeper, almost unbearable wound. This fear makes her hesitate to take any step that could lead to that possibility, preferring the known pain of distance to the unknown and potentially devastating pain of a rejection coming from you. Before we continue, the angels ask that you do a release exercise. Write in the comments a list of people, including yourself, that you'd like to forgive. Visualize each one of them, send love and say, "I forgive you," and release you. May peace be with you. Feel the lightness and freedom that forgiveness brings. Repeat this practice every day to strengthen your inner peace and release anxiety. Now, continuing the message, the angels also point to a subtle yet powerful fear, the fear of destroying memory. Sometimes when a past connection is highly idealized, a person may fear that bringing it into the present reality might tarnish the perfect image they hold. They may fear that the imperfections of the present, the daily struggles, or the changes both have undergone might somehow diminish the magic of that original connection. It's like having a precious work of art stored in a vault. There's a desire to admire it, but a fear of exposing it to the real world and risking damage. This fear of ruining the past by trying to revive it in the present is a significant factor in their hesitation. Understanding these layers of fear of intensity, inadequacy, specific rejection from you, and destroying memory, is essential. It doesn't eliminate the challenge, but allows you to see the situation with more compassion and clarity. This person isn't acting out of lack of love, but rather an excess of fear that is inherently linked to the depth of this love, and the angels are actively working to help them confront and overcome these fears. Have you noticed that certain coincidences in your life aren't mere coincidences? Angels use many means to communicate. Let's observe more closely how this fear manifests in the present and how this person interacts with your energy, even from a distance, dear soul. The angels show that they often think of you, and these thoughts are a complex mix of affection, nostalgia, and anxiety. When the memory of love and connection surfaces, they feel warmth in their heart, a genuine desire for your well-being. They may smile remembering specific moments, feel a deep gratitude for the impact you had on their life. In these moments, their energy approaches yours, seeking a subtle, almost telepathic connection. They may catch themselves imagining what a conversation would be like, what you would say, how you would react. However, almost immediately, fear casts its shadow over these thoughts. Insecurity whispers doubts in their ear. She probably doesn't think of me anymore. I would only complicate her life. It's better to leave things as they are. This oscillation between desire and fear creates an energetic pattern of approach and withdrawal that you can intuitively perceive. You may feel days when their energy seems closer, more present, followed by periods of apparent silence or energetic distance. This reflects the internal struggle they are experiencing. The angels indicate that they may seek information about you, perhaps discreetly through social media, if applicable, or asking mutual friends. They don't do this out of idle curiosity, but out of a need to feel some connection, to know that you're okay, and also to try to assess if there might be any chance, any opening for a reapproachment. Each detail they notice is filtered through the lens of their fear. If they see you happy, fulfilled, moving forward, this can paradoxically increase their insecurity. They may think, "Look how she's doing well without me. I'm not needed." If, on the other hand, they notice some difficulty in your life, fear may manifest as fear of being an additional burden. "I couldn't help her now. I would only bring more problems." It's a mental trap created by fear, where any scenario seems to confirm the limiting belief that reapproachment isn't a good idea. What I'm going to reveal next might change everything. This person often compares any other connection they've had or currently have with what they felt for you. And invariably, your perception as her first true love makes other experiences seem less significant, less deep. This doesn't mean she can't care for other people, but the intensity and quality of the connection she associates with you remains a hard-to-match standard. This constant comparison, while validating the importance you hold, also feeds the fear. She thinks, if not even other people could come close to what I felt for her, how could I recreate that now after so much time and so many changes? The magnitude of the feeling she has for you becomes, in this way, a self-imposed obstacle. The angels ask that you understand that the image she has of you may be, in part, idealized by time and distance. She may not be seeing the full person you are today with your own struggles and learnings, but rather an almost mythical version of that original love. And it's this idealized version that she fears she won't be able to reach or worse disappoint. This internal dynamic explains much of the hesitant or distant behavior. It's not a lack of love, but a deep fear of not living up to the love she herself feels and projects onto you. But know that the angels are working to bring a more realistic and courageous perspective to her heart. The energy of true love is powerful and seeks expression. Dear soul, amidst this complex web of feelings and fears, know that you are not alone, and neither is this person. The angels are actively involved, working behind the scenes energetically to facilitate healing, clarity, and courage. Celestial. Intervention does not force free will, but offers opportunities, inspirations, and synchronicities that can help dissolve the barriers of fear. The angels are constantly sending waves of love and light to this person's heart, trying to calm the voices of insecurity and fear. They inspire her through dreams, sudden intuitions, significant songs playing on the radio, or unexpected encounters with people or situations that make her reflect on your connection. The goal is to help her realize that fear, although understandable, doesn't have to be the deciding factor in her life. They are encouraging her to look beyond appearances, to recognize the value of the connection you share, and to find the inner strength to act according to the true desires of her heart. The angels show that this person has been receiving many nudges energetically lately. She may be feeling more thoughtful, more nostalgic, or she may have had a sudden and inexplicable desire to get in touch, even if fear still prevented her from acting. These impulses are angelic inspirations, attempts to break the inertia caused by fear. They are also working to bring to her consciousness a deeper understanding of fear itself. They are helping her see that many of her fears are based on distorted perceptions or past experiences that don't need to be repeated. The message the angels are trying to convey to her is that true love, especially a love as fundamental as the one she feels for you, has the power to heal, transform, and overcome old patterns. They are guiding her to realize that vulnerability is not weakness, but rather a portal to authentic and deep connection. To you, dear soul, the angels send strength, patience, and clarity. They ask that you keep your heart open, not necessarily for a reconciliation at any cost, but for the energy of love and forgiveness. Your positive vibration, your inner peace, and your self-confidence create an energetic field that can, indirectly, help this person find the courage she lacks. By staying centered in your own light, you become a beacon that can guide others, even without direct intention. Before we go on, share this video with 2 loved ones who need this message of hope and faith. Let's build a chain of love and mutual support together. Leave a comment with a prayer for your guardian angel. Now back to the message. Angels are also creating opportunities for the truth to come out. It may be that external circumstances force this person to confront their feelings or make a decision. The universe has its ways of pulling us out of our comfort zone when necessary for our growth. This message has reached you at the right time, but you need to act quickly, not in the sense of pressuring the other person, but of aligning your own energy with truth and peace. Be aware of the signs around you. Angels communicate in subtle ways. A feather found unexpectedly, a repeated numerical sequence like 1111 or 444, an inexplicable feeling of peace. These are ways they're saying they're present and working for you and for this situation. Believe that Even if the process seems slow or stagnant, there is significant energetic movement happening. The love that this person feels is real. Their perception of you as their first true love is genuine, and the fear, although strong, is not insurmountable. The light is working to dissolve the shadows. Trust in celestial time and the wisdom of the process. We've reached a crucial point in this message, dear soul. The intensity of this person's feelings, combined with the energetic work of the angels, is creating an internal pressure that is approaching a tipping point. The fear that has paralyzed them for so long is being confronted by a growing and undeniable need for resolution. They can no longer sustain this internal dissonance, the gap between what their heart feels and what their actions, or lack thereof, demonstrate. The angels show that the energy around them is intensifying, pushing them towards a crossroads. They feel, perhaps still in a confused way, that they need to make a decision. Either continue to let fear dictate their steps, keeping this precious connection only in the field of memory and longing, or find the courage to face their fears and seek a real connection in the present. This pressure doesn't just come from within. The universe, in its wisdom, is orchestrating circumstances that invite or almost force them to look at this situation head-on. It may be an unexpected encounter, news about you, a conversation with a friend that makes them reflect, or simply a moment of sudden clarity when the truth becomes undeniable. The veil of hesitation is getting thinner. The angels indicate that they're beginning to perceive the cost of letting fear win. They feel time passing, opportunities perhaps slipping away, and the prospect of living with the regret of not having tried begins to seem scarier than the fear of rejection or vulnerability itself. There's a growing awareness that something of immense value could be lost forever if they don't act. Can you feel this energy of change approaching? Because the angels are saying that something is about to happen. The inertia is being broken. This doesn't mean that the fear will disappear magically overnight. It will still be there, perhaps as a tremor in the hands or a hesitant voice, but the desire, the need to connect with you, to find out if there's still a way, is becoming stronger than the paralysis caused by fear. They're approaching a turning point where the possibility of losing you forever becomes a motivator more powerful than the fear of what might happen if they try. The angels ask that you prepare your heart, not with rigid expectations, but with openness and serenity. Be ready to receive the communication that may come, whatever it may be. Stay connected to your own truth, your limits, and what you truly desire for your life at this moment. Your clarity will be your compass when this person finally decides to take a step towards you. Remember, the way she sees you, as her first true love, imbues this potential approach with immense emotional weight for her. She won't come lightly. She'll come loaded with emotion, hesitation, perhaps even stumbling words, but with a sincerity born from the depth of what she feels and the fear she's trying to overcome. What's coming may redefine the future of this connection. The energy is culminating for action, for an attempt to break the cycle of fear and silence. We are nearing the closure of this celestial communication, dear soul, and the final message from the angels is one of hope, clarity, and empowerment for you. The perception of this person about you as her first true love is a powerful truth in her heart, an emotional anchor that connects her to you in a unique and profound way. The fear that has accompanied her, the fear of intensity, inadequacy, rejection, or tarnishing the memory, although real and impactful, is not the end of the story. It's an obstacle she is divinely encouraged to overcome. The angels show that the energy is now converging to a point of decision for this person. The internal struggle between the deep love she feels for you and the paralyzing fear has reached a climax. The need for clarity, to know if there's still a possibility, is becoming stronger than the voice of insecurity. She feels she can no longer live in the twilight of doubt and silent longing. She is being driven to act, to take a step, even if small, towards the truth of her heart. This action may manifest in various ways: an unexpected message, an attempt at conversation, a symbolic gesture. Whatever it is, it will come from a place of great vulnerability and newly discovered courage. She will essentially be putting her heart on the line, facing the fears that have haunted her, all because of the importance you hold in her life. The angels want you to know that your energy plays a crucial role at this moment. Your peace, your self-confidence, your openness, without being passive, create a safe space that may encourage her approach. If your heart still harbors feelings and a genuine desire for this connection, maintain that vibration of love and possibility. If, on the other hand, you feel you've moved on and that this door is closed in your heart, maintain your clarity with compassion. The final decision on how to respond, on what to do with this possible reapproachment, will always be yours. You have the power to choose what's best for your peace and well-being. The angels honor and support you in any decision that comes from a place of self-love and truth. It's important that you're aware of what's happening energetically. A deep love that sees you as paramount, an intense fear that's being challenged, and a likely movement of this person to seek clarity and connection. She may not be able to express everything perfectly. The fear may still show, but the intention behind the action will be significant. She will be trying to overcome herself for you. Trust your intuition to guide your next steps. The angels will be by your side, offering discernment and strength. Remember the immense value you hold, regardless of the actions or perceptions of anyone else. The love you inspire is a reflection of your own light. If this message resonated with you and your situation, write in the comments, "True love finds courage." Share your experiences in the comments. If you liked this video, like and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.